What is up? Hey guys. All right. So, I am testing out my new live setup. So many of you came and joined in my random live where I was testing my setup, and thanks so much to all of you that showed up because it made me it kind of reassured me that this was gonna work. You guys can all hear me okay, right? We're gonna just do a quick mic check and make sure you guys can all hear me before we keep going. So just making sure you guys can all hear me, and then I will keep going. Okay. Hi, Christina. Hi, Cynthia. Hey, guys. Thanks so much for joining me. I am sorry if you can hear all the children outside. We do live in an apartment building in Brooklyn, so it's kind of unavoidable that there will be background noise. All right. So Elizabeth is here. You guys all say that you can hear me, so we're gonna get started. So the plan for today is I have just been getting real back to my messy roots, and the plan for today was that, okay, so here's the one thing about this setup. It is super sensitive to movement. So if there is a little bit of shaky cam, I am super sorry. I'm still trying to figure out how this works and everything. Hey, Ro, you never make it. Hi, it's so good to see you. Yeah, so a little bit of background before we get messy is that mixed media was one of the first things that I learned how to do before I started scrapbooking, and it's really cool to get back to it. So we're gonna get started right now. So I have been pulling out all sorts of messy stuff. So we're working in my storyline chapters book today as usual. And you guys, I spent the last 15 minutes pulling out supplies, and I'm still missing stuff. So really quickly, I'm gonna pull out one more thing that I need, and then we will really get started. So I am literally pulling out all the stops for this one. We are collaging, we are painting, we are doing all the techniques, and then I'm gonna show you how to put it together in a spread. So I'm making in my storyline chapters book today. That's what we're playing with, and we're gonna do a few things straight off the bat that's going to take some drying time. Otherwise, we will be here till midnight. Oh, it's 9 a.m. It's 7 p.m. on the Eastern Coast, which is where I live in Brooklyn, New York. Yeah, so we're going to do a few things straight out the gate. Otherwise, we'll be here till midnight, and I don't think you guys signed up for that. Also, I am working on my my glass media mat, which is one of my favorite things. I gotta pull out a few more things. I thought I had everything I needed. I lied to myself. I pulled out everything except texture paste, which is what I want to do first. I want to do the texture paste first because that's going to take some time to dry, and we can put some texture paste down and then come back to it after it's dry. So we're going to quickly put some texture paste through a stencil, and then we'll get started. So I have a bunch of tools on my desk. You guys, I am not nice to my tools. Also, we're going to work on my media mat, and you guys are going to see the glare of the reflection on my mat. And I'm sorry, that's just the reality of the situation. But what was I saying? Oh yeah, I am not kind to my tools. So my stuff gets messy really fast. You know what? The entire time I was setting up for this, I was like, I have to have a basin of water by my desk to throw my stencil in it because modeling paste does cake onto a stencil and dry immediately. And you know what I don't have by my desk? A basin full of water. And Mr. Tashi is still at work, so I don't even have a scrappy assistant today like I normally do. So with modeling paste, you want to treat it like you're buttering bread. So you want to go with an even hand, and you want to go really gently. So there's a few things you could do with modeling paste. I like to use a palette knife to apply mine, but the other thing you can use to apply modeling paste is, where is mine? Okay, I can't find mine. But there's a stencil pal from Deco Foil, and I know where it is 90% of the time, and now today that I actually need it, I don't know where it is. There's just all sorts of noise tonight. Normally there's not any noise, and today there's all sorts of noise. But yeah, so you can use a palette knife like I used, or there's stenciling tools. But I just like a palette knife because it helps me get really good control. And then there we go. So that's what that stencil looks like, and I think that looks glorious. I am just going to roughly wipe off some of this modeling paste with a baby wipe. Otherwise, my stencil will never recover. And I really like this one. This is one of the mini Tim Holtz stencils. Also, you guys, I went ahead and like pre-filled in some links to things that I know I'm going to be using. So if there's some stuff I use and you're like, oh my God, aha, I absolutely need that, that will be pre-filled in the description box. Also, while I like set this off to dry, there are a lot of fun links in the description box today, and we're going to chat about all of them. All right, so where am I have a sketch for this, because otherwise, if I don't stick to my sketch, I am never going to get this done. So I have a sketch for this. So the first thing we're going to work on is our watercolor background. So this is one of my new favorite things. It's called a splat box. It is I don't know if it's Tim Holtz or a Ranger thing, but it's called a splat box. And for messy people like me, and I am just very, very messy, this thing is oh yeah, well, I'm glad you don't hear it because it's making me nuts. Yeah, so this is a splat box. Crystal, hey girl. Yay. Okay, I'm so glad you're here. So yeah, so wait, am I missing comments? Are comments not loading fast? Okay, no, they're loading in fine. Yeah, Elizabeth, I'm glad you don't hear the children in the background because they are making me crazy. Yeah, modeling paste is one of my favorite things, Crystal. So there's texture paste and then there's crackle paste. And crackle paste cracks as it dries, just like it sounds. And texture paste just leaves you a smooth finish when it dries. And one of the cool things about texture paste is you can tint it to be any color that you want. All right, so we are going to shake these up. Now with the oxides, you want to make sure you shake them really well. So I get to be obnoxious for a few minutes. I'm sorry. But with the oxides, you want to make sure you shake them up really well. I love the splat box so much. This is like a newer thing to me, and it's saving so much of my desk because so see, there we go. These sprays are nicely mixed up. It is saving so much of my desk because it catches all the mess. All right, so we are going to. Oh, you're using Ali Edwards box. Okay, so this is officially, like, this is designed for a mess. It's, like I said, it's a Tim Holtz. It's either a Tim Holtz or a Ranger product, and it's called a splat box. So I'm literally just going to go on. I'm lying. Yes, I'm going to go on and just spray this right onto my background. Now I'm going to go from Tattered Rose to Dried Marigold to Worn Lipstick, and from here... modeling paste is always my jam. I just wish it didn't take so long to dry, but it is always my jam. So it's one of those things that if you're going to use modeling paste on a project, you got to use it early. Because otherwise you sit around waiting for it to dry, and no one wants to do that. All right, so what I like about the splat box is I can do stuff like this. Now, I am mixing ink and oxides because I don't have speckled egg in the ink. And it's really funny that I'm mixing ink and oxides because you can watch this happen. Look at how different the ink applies from the oxides. Like, you can see that the oxides have that kind of white chalky thing in the background that the inks don't have. Now, I don't mind mixing them. That might be a thing that other people don't enjoy doing. I don't mind mixing them, and I really wanted some blue for the bottom of this, which is why I'm using my speckled egg distress spray stain and not oxide because I don't have the oxide. And I had everything plugged in except my heat tool. So we're going to plug the heat tool in, and we will get back to work. So quick thing while I plug my heat tool in. Yeah, so dried marigold. So dried marigold is a really fun pastel. Oh, my Worn Lipstick sprayer does not like me. Dried marigold is a really fun pastel spray, pastel orange. I wish that there were more pastels in the distress line. I think like there's a pastel in every color family except green. And someone tried to lie to me and tell me that cracked pistachio is mint green, and it is not. Like, if you look at dried marigold and tattered rose and spun sugar and like tumbled glass and even shaded lilac, like there is a mint in every color family. I mean, there's a pastel in every color family except green. So I'm hoping that one of the colors Tim plans on launching this year is a mint green. Also, here's another thing you'll notice. I think the oxides, and this is just my personal experience, I think the oxides dry faster than the distress spray stains. So that, again, that might just be my experience, but I found that the oxides dry way faster than the spray stains. But here's another thing. Because the oxides are a pigment and dye ink hybrid, they stay more pigmented than the spray stains do. And that's just the nature of the beast. That's just part of... Now, you guys, I am not a mixed media expert, right? So let's say that straight off the bat. Everything I know, I've learned from playing around. So if you're interested in like the specific properties, hey, Laura Lee, what's up? If you're interested in the specific properties of a particular product, I would highly recommend you watch, you know, the king of mixed media himself. Tim did a bunch of lives this summer during the pandemic where he was explaining like specific properties of products and how to use them. So if there's something like you really, really want answered, go to the source, don't go to me. I like to play and make, guys, look at how this is drying. This is so much fun. So I like to play and make it up as I go. So again, also I'm sure that the things that I do that are not correct, I do things wrong. Mowed lawn. I've never seen green next to orange. That's really interesting. All right, maybe we'll give that color combo a try. So Elizabeth, you have to remind me, and we might give that color combo a try. All right, so there we go. So I'm gonna get that splat box off my desk and put that back down on my media mat. And I think that is stunning. That feels very sunset-y to me. Like that's the vibe that I'm getting. It's very like sunset. I like that a lot. All right, so what we're gonna do from here is we're gonna grab some paint. And I don't know where my gray paint is. Ah, here it is. So I'm not going to use, I thought I opened all my paints except this one, but if you guys saw my most recent Instagram story, yeah, it was today. I recently got my hands on one of the distress oxide tins because Tim shared that that was a hack for storing your distress paints because there isn't an official distress paint storage yet. So I have all my paints in a distress paint tin, which you will see in a little bit. Oh, cool, thanks. Yes, I have all my paints in a distress oxide tin that you'll see in a little bit. We're gonna add a little bit of splatter to this, and I'm going to use a splatter brush, which is another thing. So here's because this is not open. Because I don't share as much of my like mixed media adventures on Instagram, there are so many tools and stuff I have in my craft room that you guys probably have just never seen because again, I don't share as many of my mixed media adventures. And I think that's just me. Is this not gonna come out? There's like wax in my paint and I can't get it out. I don't share as much of my mixed media adventures on, this is gonna be the worst thing ever, on Instagram because it's me being in my head and it's all like, oh, well, my particular subscribers won't be into that sort of thing, so I don't share as much. And it's one of the things that I probably need to like talk myself out of at some point. But there are lots of things in my craft area that you guys have just probably never seen because it's more traditional like art journaling supplies and I don't really share my art journal pages. So this is a splatter brush and it is my new favorite thing because I like to do splatter and I'm not very good at it. So this takes all the hard work out of it because it's just designed to splatter paint for you. And you can do this with any medium that's pretty liquid. Now it's gonna give me pretty small splatter, so I don't know if you'll see this on camera. But any medium that's fairly liquid, you literally just load your brush up with paint, and you do this weird flecking. I hope you guys are seeing the splatters, but you do this like fun. Oh, Etienne, catch the replay. Yeah, so this is a splatter brush, Emily. Mine is from, I probably should have done this in the splatter box, by the way, you guys, because there's gray paint everywhere. So, like, I literally had the splat box out, took it away, and then splattered gray paint all over my surface, but whatever. Mine is from Liquitex. Duh, it has it on the handle. Mine is from Liquitex, but Ranger makes one. Like Tim Holtz and Ranger makes one. But like I said, mine's from Liquitex, and I got mine on Amazon. But it's literally designed to just splatter paint. I probably should have had some sort of like vessel to dip things in that are going to get messy. But on the bright side, that's why I have this giant mat to catch everything. But yeah, so here we go. So I hope you guys can see that gray splatter. And it's just a way of adding more texture to the background. Now we are going to set this off to dry, and we are going to work. So the thing about this particular project is it takes a bunch of pieces, and after we put all the pieces together, then we're going to get something really fun. So this might be the only thing I make tonight because there are a bunch of pieces, but I want to show you how to take, again, traditional mixed media style products and techniques and show you how you can integrate them on a scrapbooking page. Because if you are into mixed media like I am, and your supplies aren't getting used because you don't know how to use them, I have a few things. So this is going to be fun. All right, so we're going to set this off to dry because I'm eventually going to die cut into this, and this is going to be part of my background panel. So I don't know how many things we're setting off to dry, but we are. Now, so this is the next thing that we're going to use. This is I have the package somewhere. Here we go. This is a collage frame from Holtz and Idea-ology, and it's just, my lord, I had everything out and now everything's gone. It's just a really fun thing to use. So the plan is to put this picture on top of the frame, not in the frame, because we're going to collage and we're going to paint on the frame. So I told you that I was going to show you guys how to use your stuff. So I have this collage paper, and collage paper is one of my in my mixed media art journals. I use a ton of collage paper because I'm not very good at making backgrounds, and with collage paper, the backgrounds are made for you. Now, if you've watched Tim's video, some of the stuff's gonna look familiar because I did not invent this stuff. I watched his videos like anybody else, and I was like, oh, that's neat, I can do that. So this is the Botanical collage paper, and like I said, I think I have some things already linked if you're interested in like grabbing some of the stuff I have. If not, I always go back and add links. And I have a water brush. And the cool thing about collage paper is you can just paint with water and it separates the paper. So I like to do this because when you collage, then you get a really like soft edge versus like tearing or cutting the paper. So you literally just go in with water. Now this is probably something I could have done in advance, so you don't have to watch me do this, but I guess it helps to see it. Hey Heba, we are playing with mixed media. Now you have to, when you go in with water, you want to be like really mindful about how much water you're using because this will get messy and this will get very wet very fast. So I was a little bit liberal with how much water I use, and I'm killing my collage paper, but it's still working. So I want this big flower. Oh, I'm not even in frame, but I want this big flower right here. So I'm just using, how about you didn't miss much. I made a background. That's literally all I did was make a background. And I'm cutting up some collage paper now. Yeah, but you didn't miss much. I promise. Laura Lee's just messing with you. All right, so I have this big flower that I want for my focal element. And I do need to dry my mat because, hey, Kate, how are you? I do need to dry my mat because I have too much water on it and everything is just wet. So we are literally going to tear all this extra paper off because it is not usable anymore because it got too wet. No, Heba, honestly, all we did was make a background. And we talked about like my splat box. That is literally all we did. We didn't do anything like crazy. All right, so I'm going to cut out with water a few more leaves.
I didn't get that.
Oh, Siri, no one was talking to you. So there we go. Siri crashed the party. Yeah, so here's the thing about scrapbooking and watching other people do this stuff is you can pick up stuff. So none of the stuff I'm doing here, I promise you, is stuff I came up with. I watch the experts like Tiffany, hey! So like Tiffany, I was gonna say I watch the experts like Tiffany, who's here, when it comes to mixed media because I have no idea what I'm doing. I literally make it up as I go. You know what I'm good at? I'm good at paper. Anything else is like, oh, I just ruined that. Okay, never mind, not that one. I'm good at paper, and anything else is like outside my area of expertise. So I have no idea what I'm doing. So that's the thing about tips is you can literally just watch the people who know what they're doing, and you can learn from them, which is what I'm doing. I have no idea what I'm doing, but I've been watching Tim's videos like nonstop for the last like 3 or 4 days, and I was like, you know what would be fun if I do all those things and I use all my distress stuff and I put it on a scrapbook page. Also, I don't know if I said this, but I'm working in my... Oh, bye, Crystal. See you in a bit. I'm working in my storyline chapters book because we are documenting a recent photo and all my like little stories from the last few weeks. I just ripped this again. All my little stories from the last few weeks are going in my storyline chapters book, so that's what we're doing. Now I'm literally just ripping out leaves so I can watercolor them. That's what I'm doing. It's just taking me forever because I probably should have prepped this better. So while I play with this, I will share one of my announcements with you because I have a few of them. So announcement number 1, if you were in Heba's last live, you might already know this, but I was thinking, happy little accidents. You know what? Bob Ross and I are not friends because Bob Ross has me thinking that I can do things that I actually cannot do. Like Bob Ross will have you thinking that you can paint all these crazy mountainscapes and he is a liar. Like not everyone can do that. I almost, you guys might find this funny, but I almost like bought a bunch of oil paints and I was going to do like a live streaming of me trying to paint like Bob Ross, and my husband talked me out of it because he was like, Tashi, you're going to end up cursing on camera and that's not okay. So you can't do this. So that is why I did not do the paint like Bob Ross on camera, because then you guys would have seen a completely different side of me and I don't know if I felt comfortable with that happening. But yes, no, that was not happening. But anyways, I was sharing announcements with you before that happened. So one of my announcements is like I said, if you guys were in Heba's most recent live, you guys might have known this already, but I'm going to be doing a crafty hangout. So in my description box already, there is a link to a Calendly event, and next Friday from 7:30 to 8:30, I will be on Zoom. Bob Ross is a liar, Ro. Don't do it. Don't do it. Next Friday from 7:30 to 8:30 Eastern time. Am I in frame? Guys, you guys gotta tell me if I'm not in frame because I'm not used to this camera setup and I think I have more room than I really do. But next Friday from 7:30 to 8:30 Eastern time, I will be on Zoom. And so it's gonna be a lot more informal than this because I'm not gonna be, I mean, I might be making something, I might not. But the goal is, because we're all still isolated, right? Like we're all still, not all of us, but a chunk of us are still in our houses. And I'm sure we're missing community and connection. Also, I probably should have put my, I'm in frame. I'm in frame now. I wasn't in frame before. I know a lot of us are missing community and connection right now. And I'm constantly thinking of ways that I can give back to the community because you guys are just so kind to me. So I've been thinking about ways that I can give back to the community, and this is totally not my idea. Alicia, who's Crafts of a Different Shade on Instagram, did one of these a few weeks ago, and I crashed hers, and it's again, super casual. Like if you want to make something, you make something. If you want to just see who shows up and talk to whoever shows up, you literally just, Christy, I'm wearing your shirt. I don't know if you saw on Instagram, but I'm wearing your shirt. Yeah, so if you want to talk, you talk. If you want to make something, you make something. If you just want to not be alone for an hour, that's the goal, right? The goal is literally to just not be alone for an hour. I mean, my situation is a little bit different than I think some people's situation in that I don't have kids. So it's literally just me and Joshua. And COVID was really rough for me when I was home because my husband was working. Also, another pro tip from Tim Holtz is when you're not using your collage brush, wrap it in a baby wipe so it doesn't get all gross and dried up on you. But yeah, so my situation was a little bit different from some people's. Putting the heat tool on. My situation was a little bit different from some people's because it's just Joshua and I. So when he went to work and I was home, I was literally alone for hours, and it was really, really rough. And it makes me wonder how many people are alone, right? Like, I'm sure, some people have their kids and their spouses, but I'm also sure that for every one person I know who has their kids and their spouses, there's someone who's alone. And there's someone who can't get a hold of their friends and can't get a hold of their family, and they're lonely. So, for an hour, you won't be lonely. That's the thought process, right? For an hour, you won't be lonely. You'll have me, and you'll have whoever shows up to hang out with us. And again, it's going to be super casual. I will moderate. I'm glad you like being alone, Angie. It is not good for me. It's not good for me at all. I'm not an introvert. I'm an ENFJ, and I am the most E to ever ENFJ. I am very much an extrovert. If you can't tell from the fact that I'm always in your faces all the time. Like, if you follow me on Instagram, I am literally all, oh, Christy, yes, we're gonna twin. But yeah, if you follow me on Instagram, I'm literally in all of your faces all the time because I don't do alone well. Wait, hold on. Empty Nest Scrapbooker. Where in New York are you? Because I'm in Brooklyn. So you say hi from New York. And yeah, Tiffany, it's open to everyone. The link is in my description box right now. So all you have to do is give me your name and your email, and you'll get a link to the Zoom call. And then, like I said, the Zoom call is, the extroverts are not okay, Carrie. You are very correct. The extroverts are, like, if you know an extrovert, check on your extroverted friends because we are not okay. Yeah, so the link, it's open to anyone. All you have to do is go to my description box, sign up for the Zoom call. And then again, you'll get a link to where to be on Friday, and we'll hang out for an hour. And if this is something you guys enjoy, then I will be happy to do them more often because Tashi loves. That's wild that you're in Queens. I'm in Brooklyn. Yeah, so if this is something that you guys enjoy doing, I will be happy to do it more often because Tashi loves community and Tashi loves you. So yeah, so let me know if this is something that you're, oh, also, you do not have to talk. Like, if you just want to come, lurking is the wrong word because nobody lurks, but you know what I mean. Like, if you just want to come and like hang out in the background while, you know, people who are okay chatting, chats, like, I don't want you to feel that you have to show up and you have to say something. Like, if you, again, the goal is just so you don't have to be alone for a little bit. So if you don't want to talk, like, that is okay too. If you just want to come and listen, if nobody else says anything for an hour, you guys better believe I have plenty to say and I will fill the silence. Like, it is okay. Tashi has plenty to talk about and I will happily fill the silence if nobody else wants to talk. But the thing is, when I go live, you guys can only listen to me for an hour or 2 hours, however long you show up for. But, okay, Tiffany, come lurk. Yeah, so when I go live, you can only, oh, hold on. I'll answer that question in a second, Gidget. I just want to finish this train of thought. When I go live, you can only listen to me, right? Like, I am the only one who can talk. But when we do this Zoom call, anyone can talk. And that's my Lord. Oh, I have email. I'm going to have to turn off my email notifications because it sounds like you guys are showing up. So I'm going to turn that off so I don't have to hear that. Yeah, so when we do this Zoom thing, anyone who wants to talk can talk. So if you have like something on your desk that you really want to show us, or you're in progress with a super cool project, yes. So, okay, guys, I don't want to keep like talking about the same thing over and over because I won't get through this. But in my description box, there is a link to a Zoom hangout that I'm hosting on Friday. It is the first time that I'm doing this, so I have no idea how it's going to go. I have no idea how to moderate it. It might be the most terrible thing in the entire world, or it might be great. So just sign up in the link in my description box for the Precisely Tashi Zoom hangout. And then after, I'm giving you guys the first access to it, and then after this live, I'm going to talk about it on Instagram. Because I do have to cap it. I just don't know how many people will show up, and I don't want to not cap it and then like 100 people show up because I can't see myself moderating 100 people. So there is a cap. So yeah, so I'm giving you guys first dibs, and then after the live, I will post about it on Instagram. So no pressure if you don't want to come, like seriously. And you guys can have your camera, Ashley, you can have your camera off. You don't have to have your camera on. Like, this is a super low-key, pressure-free event. If you guys are feeling pressured, that means I'm doing it wrong. Like, no pressure. Okay, so Gidget had a question. She was asking what I was doing. This is a sanding block, and this is another thing that I learned from Tim Holtz, which is when you collage, you can just take a sanding block to sand the extra collage paper off the edges, and it just sands it right down. So look at how this frame is. Like, how pretty. All right, but we're not leaving it here. We're painting. So if you follow me on Instagram, you might have already seen this, but I just recently organized all my distress paints in a distress oxide tin, and we're going to paint this. Yeah, we're going to paint this. And we're just going to use the paints like watercolor. So I'm going to grab some worn lipstick. Now, you guys, we're going to have to be gentle with my watercolor skills because I have none. But the point of this is to have fun, not to make something perfect. So I'm giving myself grace, and I hope you guys give me some grace too, because I promise you this is not going to be like top-notch watercolor. Like it's not happening. I am not gifted. I am a hobbyist. It's not a thing that I know how to do well, but it's definitely something that I enjoy doing. So I'm picking out some colors that kind of match what I already use. I have worn lipstick. I have dried marigold because Elizabeth enjoyed it, so we're going to keep using it. I have fossilized amber for my yellow, and those are going to be my flower colors. And then for my leaves, I'm going to use some bundled sage, some evergreen bough. Yeah, I think that's enough. That is enough paint. And the good thing about working... Okay, so you're doing your life. So then here, that's what we'll do. So I don't know if you guys have ever been on Twitch, but on Twitch they do what's called trains, where you start in one place and you keep going. So that's what we'll do. We'll do a train where you guys will start live with, you guys will come to my Zoom call, and then we'll all go watch Christy live. Now, I had a roll of paper towel, and it seems to have disappeared. Ah, I found it. Never mind. I was like, where did my roll of paper towel go? Yes. So no, you don't have to be on video. No one has to do anything they don't want to do. No one has to. There is no have to. If you come, you come. You come as you are. So it's if your bingo's at 8:30, my thing's at 7:30 Eastern time. I don't know what time that is for you, but my thing's at 7:30 Eastern time. And again, if you sign up, you will get the link and you'll get all the information. So and I will talk about it again on Instagram. So if you missed any of my spiel, I will talk about it again on Instagram. All right, so we are back to making. So we are going to paint this with some of the distress paints. Now, the reason I collaged this was so I can paint on it later. So again, nothing I'm doing is anything I came up with. This is all stuff I learned from watching Tim. So if you collage on if you use collage medium, you can paint on it with water. And it acts like watercolor. So we're just going to pull out some paints and we're going to paint this. And this is going to be the frame for my photo. So we are literally we're going, you guys. We're just full speed ahead. Now, we're not going to talk about my terrible watercolor skills. And I'm going to do this very fast because if I don't do it very fast, then you guys will see how terrible my watercolor skills are. So we're going to go really, really fast. And by using water, I can thin out this paint. And it doesn't cover up the detail in the collage paper. So I'm literally just going to roughly apply some paint in here. And then clean my brush off, go into worn lipstick, and just kind of blend that into the dried marigold and paint these petals. Now, I am trying to keep up with comments, so sorry if I missed something. This is not the kind of live where I can be super engaged with comments because I'm doing a bunch of things that requires a lot of attention. Yeah, so the painting with the water brush and the distress paint is it's just super fun. And then the thing about the distress paint is so none of the other distress mediums when they dry are permanent. If you use inks or if you use the oxides, once they dry, you can still reactivate them with water. The cool thing about the paints is once these dry, they are permanent. So I'm keeping them nice and wet so I can keep them fluid and move them around. But once they dry, they're not moving anymore. And I'm just going back in with a little dried marigold for the center of my flower. And that actually doesn't look terrible. Look at that. A little bit of water, a little bit of paint, a really forgiving medium. It's not in my IG bio, Elizabeth. It's in this bio because I'm not telling anybody on Instagram until I get you guys to sign up, whoever wants to sign up first, because I capped how many spots there are. Alice, hey, how are you? Thanks for joining us. Yeah, Elizabeth, it's in the description box of the live, not on Instagram yet. Because I'm giving you guys first dibs for whoever does want to come before I take it to Alice. Thank you so much for joining us. So yeah, I'm giving you guys first dibs before I talk about it on IG because you guys are here with me right now. All right, so there we go. Look at how, never mind, I can't pick it up because you can't see it, but that's what that looks like painted. I hope you guys can see that, but that's what that looks like painted, and I think that looks super fun. So I'm just gonna push some water out of my brush to kind of clean it, and then I'm gonna paint this flower up here. And this flower, we're just going to go in with some fossilized amber and thin it out. I'm not going to like add multiple colors up here. Just some fossilized amber up here and thin it out. So there we go. That's what that looks like. Oh, thanks, Alice. And I'm doing well, thank you. Life on the East Coast is not as terrible as life is on the West Coast right now, so I'm counting my blessings. I'm very much grateful for what I have right now because other people are not doing as well as I am, and so I literally cannot complain. So thank you for checking in on me. All right, so you guys, we are just painting this frame. Now, this could easily be, like, if you worked in a traveler's notebook, not like a traditional traveler's notebook, obviously, but if you were working in, like, one of those Citrus Twist Life Crafted albums, this could easily be, like, the focal point of a page. You would just stick this down onto... I hope the colors are picking up. But you would literally just stick this down onto a piece of cardstock, like punch holes in it, and put your photo behind it. And this could easily be like a scrapbook page. Like that's what this is. This could easily be a scrapbook page. You don't have to do all the craziness that I'm going to do with it, but literally just painting the collage paper and adding a little bit of color, like stick to whatever color scheme makes you happy. But just adding some paint to this, adding some color, putting a photo behind it, and putting it in a notebook, this could easily be a layout. Like, there's nothing... Like, you don't have to add much more to this. I am going to, because I cannot be trusted. I'm going to. But you don't have to. And that's the beautiful thing about mixed media. You can do as much of it or as little of it as you want. Now, these are the Distress... these are water reactive paints. Anything Tim Holtz makes in the Distress line is water reactive. So they are technically acrylic paints, but if you add water to them, they almost behave like watercolor. They are permanent once they dry, so you do have a fixed amount of time to work with them because once they dry, then they are not moving anymore. But yeah, Tim did a whole live on all the things you could do with the fun distress paints. I was literally just using them to make backgrounds before today. Like, I wasn't doing any of this stuff, and I was like, I am missing out. So yeah, since this paint is still wet, I can pick it up and I can move it around and I can do all sorts of crazy things, which is what I'm doing. But I'm just painting these leaves and just jazzing this up. All right, there we go. So that is sufficiently messy. I like that a lot. I might actually just add a little bit of weathered wood around my flowers just to bring that color out a little bit, and also because I used blue already in my page. So quickly gonna add some of that. So second announcement, because there's two announcements today, and then after we make the announcements, that's all the housekeeping. So second announcement is you might notice that there's another link in my description box, and it says join my mighty network. So this is probably a surprise to no one, but I actually like 100% despise Facebook. Facebook is my least favorite social media platform. I'm not a Facebook fan at all. Like, at all. And if all of my design teams didn't use Facebook as their prime method of communication, I actually would have probably deleted my Facebook account like forever ago. I'm not a Facebook fan, but I have been playing around with the idea for a very long time of starting a place where I could connect with you all. Like, I like the idea of having a Facebook group where we could share like inspiration. So the other thing is the Instagram algorithm, it sucks. Like, there's no like sugarcoating it. The Instagram algorithm sucks. And they've recently changed it where like they're changing how many people they show your stuff to, and then based on how many people interact with the stuff they show you, they'll decide if to keep showing you their stuff. And so I am constantly missing things that people are sharing. And I've noticed that now, you guys, let's not like mix, like I don't want to misconstrue this. I am not a like chaser. I am not a hearts chaser. I am not interested in getting like 500 likes on every post. So I just want to make sure that that's obvious. But I have noticed that my engagement, like the amount of people who see my stuff and the amount of people who interact with my stuff on Instagram is steadily downward turning. And I've had people DM me and they're like, you shared this really cool thing last week and it makes me really sad because I haven't seen it before today. So I figured the best solution would be to, oh, also look at my frame, you guys. I think that came out super cool. So I figured the best solution would be to move my platform, to set up a platform off of Facebook. So to that end, I have started a Mighty network, and I've been talking to Victoria Marie, so you might notice that she already has one. I've been talking to Victoria Marie about how it's working for her, and she really likes the platform. So I've started one. So there is a link to join. If you know, again, nothing about this is pressured, but if you join, you can hang out. So that's what that's going to look like. So that's going to get layered right over that frame, and I think that looks super good. I'm really happy with where this is going. I am really happy with where this is going. This is working so well, like so well. So yeah, so if you choose to join my Mighty network, it's going to be, it's going to have all the best parts of Facebook. The good thing about Mighty networks is I pay for it, and since I pay for it, it's ad-free. So again, that's the other thing about Facebook is because it's a free platform, I can't control what, I gotta go get more stuff, so sorry, I'm gonna keep talking. But because Facebook is a free platform, I can't control what you guys see. Hold on, I forgot to get my die cutting machine, so ignore all the chaos. Okay, I nearly like broke everything in my craft area to get to my die cutting machine. So there you go. Yeah, so because Facebook is a free platform, I can't control ads. I can't control what you see. I can't control anything. But because Mighty Networks is something that I pay for, since I pay for it, it's ad free. So you don't have to worry about getting spammed with like ads that you're not interested in seeing. And literally all it is just a group platform. It's also going to be where I'm hosting my class. When the class comes. So if you're interested, no pressure if you're not, but if you're interested, you can join my Mighty network. I'm going to be cross-sharing all my Instagram posts there. This is a free platform, by the way, you guys. There's nothing you have to pay for. I pay for it. So I'm going to be cross-sharing all of my Instagram posts there. So if there's something that I've made and there's like a YouTube video, everything will be linked to that network. So if you feel like you're missing things on Instagram, you don't have to worry about it anymore. Also, there's going to be like chats. There's like a live chat feature of the network. So if you guys just want to come in and have like a random chat with whoever's online, you can do that. And like I said, that's where I'm going to be hosting my class when I launch it. So I think it's going to be fun. I'm really interested to see what happens with the platform. So there you go. That's the other thing. So there's 2 links in my description box. And again, no pressure if you're not interested in either one. I'm just putting it out there that those are available. So this is the Tim Holtz mixed media die. And I saw Jamie Pate use this on one of her pages. And I was just like, shut the front door. These are so much fun. All right. I am making a huge mess in here. Also, I don't know if you guys saw on Instagram, but I just got another 3 boxes from American Crafts today. So when I tell you I am drowning in products, I had my craft pick on my desk, and now I lost it. Like, I legit had my craft pick on my desk. There it goes. So when I tell you I'm drowning in products, I'm drowning in products. And my craft area is a mess. So I just dropped everything trying to get to my die cutting machine, which means now I can never get off my desk because I'm stuck here. Yeah, so I saw Jamie Pate use this on a page, and I thought it was so much fun. So it's just a way of adding like fun texture to your background. And again, these are the Tim Holtz mixed media dies. This is number 1 because he's done 4 series of them. Now, I did my ink on watercolor paper, which is a cotton-based paper. So it is not like cardstock. So it's like normally with like cardstock and I die cut cardstock, like all the stuff just falls right out of it. What is in those boxes? I do not know. I have not opened them. I do not have the bandwidth to open them, Emily. My husband and I were literally sitting at home yesterday looking at my storage, trying to figure out what I can do to expand what I have. Because the thing is, I'm not working in a craft room. I'm not sure how many of you know this, but I scrapbook in my living room. So it's not like I have, a craft room that I can expand into. Like literally the space I have is the space I have. So we're going to have to get pretty creative with what I do because I was warned that American Crafts sends boxes and they send them often. So, we'll see. All right, so this was the mixed media die set that I used. And the plan is to do something like that and then have the photo like that. And I like that so much. Oh my God, you guys, are you on board? Because I think that looks so good. Do I want to put my photo like that? Or do I want to put, I actually think I like the photo like that. Okay, so you guys tell me what you think, because I am really happy with where this is going. I think this is going to be so much fun. So like I said, we're literally just making a bunch of pieces and eventually we're going to assemble them into a page. So there's a few more things that I want to make before I actually get to the assembling part. And I hope I'm not boring anyone today, because normally by now I would have like a layout made, and I am just taking my sweet time today and I'm not getting anything done. But that's the thing so here's my favorite part of mixed media is that you can do that. Like, my favorite part of mixed media is I can do stuff like this, where I can just kind of mess around and I can play and I can have fun, and it doesn't have to be like super serious all the time. So Carrie's asking, can I go up with vertical storage? So I'm not sure if you've seen what my my craft space looks like, but I am very much already going up with vertical storage. I'm gonna have to keep growing up. So Joshua and I have a few ideas already about what we can do to try to make this space work. So we'll see. We'll see how it goes. But yeah, because there's a few. So here's something I can actually talk about already, because it's not a secret anymore. But I actually, part of the reason what got me like back into mixed media again was Tim asked me to make stuff for the Idea-ology Christmas release. So the Idea-ology Live is actually next Saturday, if you're interested. And I made a few things for the Idea-ology Live. So next Saturday, if you're interested, you will get to see what I made. But that's part of what got me back into mixed media again, because if you're making for Tim, like, mixed media is not a choice. Like, you have to do something crafty and you kind of have to play with paint. And that's what got me back into it. And I actually made a canvas for something, like, in addition to the stuff I made for the live. And I was like, shut the front door. This is so much fun. Why am I not doing this more often? So yeah, prepare for lots more mixed media coming from me, and it will be integrated into like the existing like layouts I'm making and the stories that I'm telling. But man, mixed media is my whole jam, man. There's just something about the freedom to get messy that is just my thing. Like, yeah, oh my God, I cannot even tell you, I fangirled so hard. Like, so hard. Like, I don't even think I have words for the fangirling that was happening when he asked me if I wanted to make something for Christmas. But then I was just like, Tim, I don't use brown. And I know you and a lot of the people in your community are really big fans of brown, and I don't use brown, so is that going to work? And he was like, Tashi, do your thing. I don't care if you use brown. And I was like, are you sure? Are you sure you don't care if I use brown? So it's kind of a running joke between me and one of the other people that works for him, that not works for him, but works with him, that I'm a troublemaker because I don't use brown. I think I own one brown Distress Oxide ink. Like, I'm not a brown girl. I like rainbow and I like bright colors. So I'm actually really excited to show you guys what I made because I didn't use brown. Yeah, no, none of the rules with me. And there was no brown, like, at all. No brown with me. All right, so I just sprayed some Tattered Rose, some worn lipstick, and some dried marigold oxide spray on another scrap of watercolor paper. And we're going to die cut out of this again in a few minutes. This is why I love my Ranger Heat tool, because I'm constantly flitting from piece to piece of a project, and if I had to wait for things to dry, I would literally get nothing done. So we are drying things, and as Tim says, if you touch it and it's wet, it's still wet. If you touch it and it's dry, it's dry. Yeah. Wait, hold on. Apprehensive Owl, you have to tell me your name, because one, you have the best YouTube screen name I've ever seen, but I don't know your name, and I don't think I recognize it from Instagram. So please tell me your name so I can say hi. Yeah, see, no, Elizabeth, throw the browns in the garbage. No browns. Browns are the worst. No, not for me. Also, you guys, another fun thing on my desk. I got these Altenew ink blending things today. And you know how I'm always throwing like Heba under the bus for all the things she makes me buy? This is something Jennifer McGuire made me buy. All those pesky card makers have sworn by this like ergonomic tool for ink blending. So I bought a few of them. Hey, Crystal. Oh, Crystal, that makes perfect sense. Okay. So I bought a few of these Altenew ergonomic ink tools. I don't think I've linked those in the description box. I've linked a bunch of other things, but I don't think I have these linked in the description box. And I'm just going to go through with some ice spruce and put some polka dots on this and just adding some texture to my background. Now, I'm going in with a blending brush and doing this because if I added any water to this background, because the distress oxides are water reactive, if I add any water at all, it's immediately going to react to it and make this all wet and muddy. So we are just going in, and I bought 3 of these. So if I'm doing any sort of ink blending, I have more than one. From what I've heard, it is, there you go, fun polka dots. From what I've heard, it is super easy to clean the color off of them. So you don't need like one for each color. I just like having 3 because if I'm blending, I'm typically blending in 3s. Elizabeth, Heba is speaking for the both of us. You and I can't be friends anymore because brown is the worst. No brown for me. All right, so the other dye I have, and this is the other thing that Jamie Pate made me buy. So Heba isn't the only enabler. Jamie Pate used these scribbly butterflies, and I was just like, shut the front door. These are the most beautiful things I've ever seen. So yeah, so we're just gonna die cut some butterflies out of this. We have one more thing to make, and then I think we're almost ready to start. Oh, you're talking about the blending tools? How about, yeah. So they snap in like this into a little holder so that the ink doesn't get all over your desk, and then they stand up just like that. Yep, they're pretty fun. Like I said, I bought 3 of them because typically when I'm blending in 3s, and I like to just have one for each color that I'm blending. I like to blend in families, but sometimes you want to do something funky, and I don't want to be switching from color to color. So, all right, I'm pulling out my Big Shot one more time. Oh no, this did not stick. Okay, so I'm pulling out my Big Shot one more time. I'm going to quickly die cut these butterflies. This is probably the most boring thing to watch is someone die cutting in real time, but yeah. How about, so Altenew is not the first company to make these. I think Pink and Main were the first company to make something like this, but I've heard really good things. Oh yeah, see? Kate said that. She has one from Pink and Main. I've heard really good things about the Altenew ones, so that's why I figured I'd give them a try. But yeah, Kate said that Pink and Main makes one, makes a similar style of brush. All right, so we're just gonna quickly die cut these. We're gonna do 2 passes. Jennifer McGuire is, I don't know if she's a bigger enabler than Heba is, because Heba's my enabler, so I like to bother Heba because she's my enabler. But the thing about crafting is, like, what you do changes, right? So, like, well, not for everyone. Let me fix that before I make that blanket statement. The way I make things changes, and I'm constantly drawing inspiration from people. So Heba was my chief enabler, and she is still my chief enabler, so she's who I go to when I have questions. But also, because I've been making different kinds of things, all right, so this did not die cut as cleanly as I would have liked. This one did. This one is pretty close. That's the thing about die cutting watercolor paper, is it doesn't always behave because this is cotton, and I don't think cotton enjoys being die cut. But I really wanted to do this on watercolor paper so that I got the best ink coverage, because when you do the sort of thing on like without mixed media paper, it doesn't always cooperate. All right, so let's see. All right, so I'm just gonna quickly poke this out. But yeah, Heba so Ebony has not started scrapbooking yet. Ebony's thing is trying to get my stuff from me. but she hasn't actually started making her own stuff yet. She is my biggest, so she likes, her thing is she likes to send me photos, and then go, oh, let me know when you use this on a page. That's her thing. She wants to see me use them. I don't think she really wants to do it herself. You haven't really made any cards since you started scrapbooking. Yeah, so card making will never be a thing for me. I don't know if you guys saw that Instagram post that when I was like talking about how Stamptember had me convincing I could make cards. Stamptember is a liar, and I cannot make cards, and I don't think I have it in me for cards. All right, I'm just trying to rescue a few of these butterflies, and then we will keep going. I just need 2 of them, so I die cut 4 of them, and we'll keep going. But you guys, this is what happens when you do too much. My watercolor paper did not die cut very nicely, so I'm just going in with some scissors and cleaning this up. So, I guess a word of caution is if you're die cutting watercolor paper, maybe use a shim. I probably should have used a shim to do this, just to make sure that I got like the best cuts, but I just need 2 of these. So, oh, I pulled off the antenna off of that one, so that one can't work. Yeah, I probably should have used a shim. That's my own fault for not using a shim. But let's see. If one of these are salvageable, we can keep going. I just need one of these to be salvageable. No, I cannot make cards. That's not my thing at all. Like, I cannot make cards to save my life. I attempted to make a card a few weeks ago, and I cried. Like, I legit cried. I cut my finger. I attempted to heat emboss, and I, like, legit almost lost my mind. I don't have the, what's the word? I don't think I have the crafty dexterity it takes to make cards. You guys, I'm about to scrap this idea. These butterflies are not cooperating. All right, we're going back to the drawing board on my embellishments because those butterflies are not cooperating, and I do not want to play with them forever. Yeah, so I'm not a card maker. I don't think I ever will be a card maker. I don't think that's something I want to do. Those butterflies are not cooperating, so I'm going to figure out something else for my main embellishment. I really wanted to use those butterflies, but they're not working. So back to the drawing board. And that's the thing about going live, is you get to watch me like mess up and do things all over again and figure them out as I go. All right. So one more thing we're doing. This is the tag that I colored with the modeling paste that I put modeling paste through in the beginning. We are quickly going to color this in because this is going to be my focal element on the. I cannot make anything with those butterflies because they won't come out. They're just being very stubborn, and that is okay. I can't do anything. All right, so this is just going to be my focal element. So what I'm doing is I'm going in with some distress crayons, and I'm just going to add some color to my modeling paste. And it tints the modeling paste and just kind of buffs it out a little bit. So I just added a bunch of Worn Lipstick Distress Crayon, which, you guys, I wasn't joking when I said Worn Lipstick is my favorite color. Like, I literally have Worn Lipstick in every product Tim makes. I have Worn Lipstick in because it's my favorite distress color. So I just went in with some Worn Lipstick to tint it. I can't do cards, Heba. Like I said, Jennifer McGuire is my chief enabler. So she has me believing that I can make cards, and and I'm not mad at the fact that I can't make cards. Like, that's okay that I can't do everything, but like I can't make cards. Like, that is not something that is on my radar at all. Like, I can't do it. And I even tried some like Kathy Zilski cards because she says her cards are like simple. And they might be simple for someone who knows what they're doing, but for me, who doesn't know what they're doing, they are not simple enough. So I don't make cards. And I like the idea of cards, is I really like the idea of giving somebody something handmade, right? There's just that idea of something that you that touched your hands, that you loved enough to make for somebody. So I really like the idea of making cards, but it's just not something that I can do. Yeah, it's just not something that I can do, which again, I'm not mad about because I know where my strengths lie. I am a pretty good scrapbooker. Like, that's something that I do, and I'm pretty good at it. So I know where my strengths lie, and card making is not it. Card making is not it. It's not there. All right, so I'm just gonna quickly add some more pink to these flowers. So that's all. So the modeling paste takes Distress Crayon like a dream. And this is something I do pretty often in my art journals, is put some modeling paste down and then color in the images, and then it just takes to the raised image. And I'm just using some distress brushes to blend the crayon out. There we go. Perfection. All right, so let's work on actually assembling our page right now, because aside from the butterflies, which I will eventually figure out what to do, I have all of my elements. All right, so I'm not working in my book just yet because I figured it'll be easier for me to figure out where things go if I work on cardstock and then just stick these in the book. So here is the size of a Storyline Chapters insert. All right, so that is going to go there. That's going to go there. And this is what I meant about this frame just taking up a whole page. Like, that is that. Like, I don't have to do anything extra with that. That is going to go on that side. That green is really dark, so I'm just going to go in and blend it out a little bit more. And my title and my journaling is going to go over this, so I'm not that worried about how, like, opaque this is, because I'm going to type my journaling on my typewriter after the live is over, and my journaling is going to go right here. So what I need to figure out is my embellishments and my title. So my embellishments were going to be my butterflies. Those were a wash. So what can I use to embellish this? I'm just going to quickly rifle through some die cuts and see what I have that I can embellish this with. So I have this. Actually, these might be the perfect colors. I just found a pack of unopened die cuts, so there we go, I won. I won at the mixed media game. I just found a whole pack of unopened die cuts. Also, what is my life that I just have unopened die cuts lying around? I have no idea. No idea. All right, so great. So now we can pull out some stuff. And oh, look what the first thing I found was a butterfly. It's almost like it was meant to be, since I completely screwed up the butterflies that I intended on making. Oh, and there's leaves. Great. Okay, so we're just gonna make some embellishment clusters for this bad boy. And I wanted to give myself, ooh, Let's Wander. That's actually a pretty good title. Oh, look at that. I wanted to make sure I left myself room to add my journaling. I wanted to type it on my typewriter though, so that's why I don't have it. Joshua and I spent a whole day fixing my typewriter that I bought secondhand. Which that alone was an adventure because we had no idea what we were doing, and Joshua and I are not like licensed typewriter mechanics. So that was a bit of an adventure trying to fix the typewriter, but we got it done. Now, in my sketch, I had like torn paper going across the pages. So I'm trying to decide if I still want to do the torn paper thing, or if there's enough going on that the torn paper will just distract from. I kind of like it on the tag. I think I like it on the tag because then I give myself space to add my journaling. Like I can add my story right here. Yeah, I think I like it on the tag like that. So yeah, so I'm trying to decide if I still want to add the. What was I saying? No, I have a typewriter. I have one. So I found one on eBay for like $35 or $40. Like it was some stupid price. It was like ridiculous, the price that I found it for. So yeah, so I have one. But like I said, because we got it secondhand, it needed to be serviced, and it needed ink. So we had to like figure out how to put the ink cartridge in it, which was again not something that Joshua and I knew how to do. So it was a bit of an adventure getting the thing in. I ended up with ink all over my fingers. It was just wild. I can't believe like I had a whole ephemera pack just sitting in like my stash completely unopened. All right, so Emily, you like the torn paper idea? I kind of want to do the torn paper idea. I I just don't know if it'll be too busy. And there's already enough going on this page that, I mean, whatever, this is me we're talking about, so busy is what I'm good at. But there's enough going on this page that I am worried about crossing the line from, like, you know, kind of busy to over the busy. Heba, if American Crafts sends me a whole typewriter, I might resign because I do not have the space for the stuff. They're already, oh, so Heba, I don't know if you were here when I was talking about it, but since I've joined the design team, which was, for the record, the design team position started in, so these are the papers I had picked. Let's see if these still work with all the colors I have going on. I think these still work. These still work. So yeah, Heba, for the record, my design team's term started in the beginning. Oh my God, you guys hear that? Like, do you hear the collapse happening? It's wild. Yeah, for the record, my design team term started in July, and I have received, I'm not exaggerating, you guys, please don't think I'm exaggerating, I have received 140 pounds of product from American Crafts. I hope you guys are not laughing at the fact that things are just falling everywhere, because nothing about that is funny. I am really struggling with my space these days. I have never struggled with my space as much. Also, you guys, my camera's not frozen. I'm cutting papers on my lap because there's no space on my desk to cut papers, so I'm literally cutting papers on my lap. Yeah, so I have never struggled with my small space as much as I'm struggling with my small space right now. Yeah, the crafter lunch is legit what happened. Like, I pulled one thing and everything fell. I'll take a picture of it for you guys after the live because you guys tend to find things like this funny. But I pulled one thing, everything fell. It is a disaster. Yes, 140 pounds of product since the term has started. So I need a big piece like this, and then a piece like this, and then a piece like this. And you guys, I'm not complaining because I could have the opposite problem where I don't have enough product. But when I tell you the American Crafts design team is very generous, it's very generous. It's very generous. And I am struggling to keep up with how generous it is because I don't have a big space. Now, I'm not complaining, super grateful. One, super grateful for the opportunity to be designing for American Crafts. Like, that is just wild that that's a thing. So super grateful that that's a thing. But also it is a tiny bit overwhelming that the box, like, I thought that I had gotten all of my boxes for the start of term. And then I came home today and there were 3 boxes sitting outside my apartment. And I was just like, this cannot be real life. Like, this can't be happening. That every day I come home, there are just boxes waiting for me. And like I said on Instagram, Joshua's new thing is like stacking them. So I don't know if he's telling me that he's aware that I have a shopping habit, which on the bright side, I don't actually have to do much shopping these days because things come to me. So I don't have to buy things. So Mr. Tashi does not appreciate my crafty shopping habit. It is not his favorite thing about me. Like, I will be upfront about that. He's not the biggest fan of my hoarding. So yeah. Oh, Emily, I think you were right about that torn paper. That's actually pretty fun. Emily, I think you were right. So I'm gonna do a little bit on that side. Yeah. So he's not the biggest fan of my shopping habit, but on the bright side, these days, my shopping habit is a whole lot decreased because I don't have to buy as much stuff. And you know what the best part about being on this many design teams is? I can just be like, I didn't buy that. A team sent that to me. And even if it's not true, he will never know. And you guys, I'm not advocating lying to your husband. First of all, let's not say that Tashi's advocating lying to your husbands. But a little crafty fibbing every now and then never hurt anybody. So he'll just be like, Tashi, you got another box? And I'm like, yeah, Allie Edwards is constantly sending us stuff. And I mean, I might have gotten a box from Allie Edwards that day, and it's probably mixed into all the stuff that I did. So totally not fibbing, just not telling the complete truth. And it keeps Mr. Tashi happy. I'm so glad he doesn't watch my lives because I'm totally outing myself. But yeah. It keeps Mr. Tashi happy. It keeps Mr. Tashi's nose out of my business. And then all he does is like go, oh my God, they're sending you so much stuff. And I'm like, I know, right, Joshua? It's wild. And then he's like, why are you on so many design teams? And I'm just like, because people like what I make. Leave me alone. So yeah. And he builds all my IKEA furniture for me. You guys, this is actually coming together so much better. All right, so I had this like crazy idea in my head, right? And I was like, I'm going to take like 90% of the things I know about mixed media and put them on the same page. And we will see what happens, right? Like that was the idea. And yes, we had a bit of a fail. Like the butterflies did not cooperate. So we had a bit of a fail with the butterflies. But I gotta say, everything else is working out just fine. Like, do you guys agree? Do you guys agree with me? Or am I like imagining things and this all looks terrible? Like, is this working out okay? Because every now and then I make something and I'm like, this is glorious. And then I'm sure other people look at it and they go, Tashiana, that is the most hideous thing I've ever seen. And I'm like, all right, that's cool. You didn't have to be so mean about it. Also, no one ever says that to me. So I don't want you to go thinking I have to fight all the people who are mean to Tashi. No one ever says that to me. That's like my inside voice. Everybody has an internal critic. And mine is not very kind to me. Oh, that's a new one I should try, Elizabeth. I haven't tried that one yet. So if you guys aren't keeping up with the comments, Elizabeth says she tells her partner that she won a giveaway. And that is not one that I've tried before. Sorry, guys, just plugging in my computer so it doesn't die. That's not one that I've tried before. But if Mr. Tashi stops buying the design team excuse, I'm just going to tell him that I won a giveaway. What is happening to my tape? What is going on with my tape? Yeah, so there you go. That's a new excuse. I like that one. Oh, I think my tape is dead. All right. I feel like my tape runners are always running out when I'm live, and I can't be bothered to refill them. So I gotta go find another tape runner. Where is it? Is it empty? All right, so this wouldn't be a Tashi live if something didn't go wrong. Oh yeah, it's empty. That's why it's misbehaving. It's not that it's broken, it's just empty. Also, do you guys, what do you think of, since you're here, what do you think of the new setup? Like, I haven't had any technical difficulties this entire time, which feels great. Also, if you guys were here from the very beginning, you would have seen my Tashi is going live soon screen. Let me know what you thought of that. I'm just trying to make my lives look professional. That's it. Just trying to make this look like a put together experience and not like I literally just plugged my phone in and was like, I'm going live today. So let me know what you thought of the setup and how it worked for you. Because I'm happy to tweak things if it's not a good fit. I had that 60-second coming soon thing on. Oh my God. This was the worst. Okay, so I don't know if anybody realized what happened, but I tried to put tape on my watercolor paper and it ripped the paper. It literally ripped the paper. It was just, okay. It ripped the paper. So we're going to have to use wet glue to stick this down. Okay, I'm glad the shaky cam is not terrible. So the shaky cam is, if I kick my, my tripod is actually, one of these days when I get my like setup the way, I'm missing the scratch off conversation. I gotta catch up. One of these days when I get my setup actually set up the way I want to, I'm going to do a, like a crafty setup, craft corner tour situation. But my, my filming setup is 100% MacGyvered. It is literally a mic stand that I found on Amazon. So it's a mic stand that I found on Amazon that I attached a boom arm to and I hang my camera from. So My mic stand, because it's not a traditional tripod, it has the mic stand legs, and it is underneath me. So if I move too much, I kick it. That's the stupid thing. So, but I don't have the room for a traditional tripod, so my mic stand hack works really well. So yeah, so that's why I was worried about the shaky cam. But I just figured out that if I don't move at all, why is this happening again? So I've just figured out that if I don't move at all, I don't kick the mic stand. So I just need to not move ever. All right, is this gonna work? Am I just gonna be doomed to fight with tape? No, it's not working. I'm just gonna be doomed to fight with tape forever. Why are none of my tape solutions behaving themselves today? Hold on. Just gonna have to fiddle with tape and see what's wrong with this. And this is why I stopped using my ATG, because my ATG did this to me every time I went live. Like literally every time I went live, my ATG would do something ridiculous and interrupt my live. And I was like, I'm not using my ATG anymore. And I switched to this little tape runner thing, and it is almost just as bad. All right, so stand by for me attempting to fix my tape, which I don't think I'm doing it right, and I think I'm just wasting tape at this point. So there's that. Yeah, I think I just broke this. Tape. So I used glue, and the glue stuck the thing down fine. But my tape is not cooperating, so I'm going to have to switch to something else. And I am not using score tape, because score tape is the whole devil, and I refuse. So hopefully I have some other sort of adhesive in here. You guys, I might have to use score tape, and score tape is literally the devil. Like, I refuse to use score tape. It is the worst adhesive in the whole world. I will not use score tape, ever. Never using score tape. All right, I found another tiny vellum tape runner, which I should be saving for vellum, but it's saving me from having to use score tape, so that is good enough, because I'm not using score tape. All right, so the thing now, all right, so that is, nope, I put that a little too far over. So I'm going to put that closer to this. I'm going to put that here. Yeah, here. So it's not sticking over so much. No, oh my God. Laura, I don't know if you just heard me ranting about how much I hate score tape, but it's kind of funny that you say you should... Oh, I need to put wet glue on this. It's not going to stick. It's kind of funny that you just said you should try score tape after I literally just finished yelling about how much I hate score tape. I hate that thing. I refuse to use score tape. It takes much more energy than I'm willing to put in, ever. So I will never use score tape. It will literally have to be the last adhesive I own before I will use score tape. Like, never. Like, literally never. And actually, when I was on the Paper Issues design team, I just used wet glue. Yeah, that's it. When I was on the Paper Issues design team, one of the funniest conversations we would have is about like how much the ATG, so like the ATG is one of those things that you either like love it or you hate it. So there are either people who are like firmly on team ATG. I don't like score tape because I don't like that I have to rip the backing off. I am too lazy. But I know I had another butterfly over here. Oh, okay, there we go. I don't like score tape because I hate that I have to rip the backing off, and I am too lazy to do stuff like that. That's all it is. Like, I literally am just too lazy to rip the backing off of my score tape, so I don't like doing it. And that seems like a silly reason to hate, like, an adhesive. And there are some people who swear by score tape. This is not going to stick. There are some people who swear by score tape, and I'm glad that it's their favorite thing, but I am not a fan of having to rip the backing off every time I want to adhere something. So I just don't, I'm not like I don't reach for score tape at all. I have a ton of it. And the only time I really use score tape is if I am making a flip out in my 6x8 album. So my ATG and I've said this before, my ATG and I go back to friends. Oh, this is foam tape, you guys. And it's almost done. I need a new roll. My ATG and I go back and forth because it's not left. Yeah, exactly, Natalie. So my ATG and I go... This is not sticking. My ATG and I go back and forth because it's not designed for left-handed people. And at first, I thought people were just being like I thought people were just overreacting, but it's literally not designed for left-handed people. So when I use my ATG, I have to use it right-handed, and I'm not right-handed. So then it just becomes a struggle. And I wanted to switch to an ATG because of waste. Like, I wanted to switch to an ATG because from like a waste standpoint. Like, as far as like plastic waste goes, the ATG just has less plastic waste. And so that's why I wanted to switch to one, because I thought I felt like I was generating, and this is not me calling anybody out. I just thought I was generating too much waste in my scrapbooking, and I was looking at ways that I could minimize how much garbage I generate. And one of the things I could do was switch the type of tape that I was using. So I tried to switch to the ATG, and it's just, I pull it out every now and then, but man, is it just a struggle to adhere something, and I just don't think it's worth it. Like, I don't like having to struggle. All right, you guys, we are finally in the assembling phase of this. It is only 8:30. It only took me an hour and like 21 minutes to make 1 million pieces. But again, the point of this exercise was to show you ways that you could take your mixed media supplies and like mixed media techniques and make a page. So I think I'm doing what I set out to do, which is show you how to take mixed media stuff and make something scrapbooky with it. Oh, I just put the adhesive on the wrong side of this paper. I'm not even paying attention anymore. Yeah, so I hope that I completed my mission, which was to show you how to do stuff like that, or not even to show you how, but to give you inspiration for taking out your more traditional mixed media supplies and getting them on scrapbook pages. The thing about scrapbooking is there are no rules, right? So if you like something, do you. People talk about like design theory and the quote-unquote design rules, and I say take those rules and throw them in the whole garbage, because if it's not making you happy, it's not serving you, and if it's not serving you, why are you doing it? So yeah, take all those design rules, throw them in the garbage, unless it's a design rule that you love. If you love them, like if you love having design rules and having design conventions and they help you make stuff, then keep the rules, right? But if the design rules and the design conventions are crippling you and are stopping you from making things that bring you joy, then are they serving you? That's the question. If they're crippling you and you're not making things you love because you're worried about breaking design rules, then who are the design rules serving? Because they're not serving you. And if they're not serving you anymore, then throw them in the garbage. All right, so that's what that's gonna look like. And I left myself, so the crystal, the ATG is the Advanced Tape Glider, and it is a giant tape runner from the Scotch brand. And I do not know where mine is, or I would take it out and show it to you. But if I decided to look for it, there would be another avalanche in my craft area, and that would give you more reasons to laugh at me, you guys. So I'm not going to look for it because I have no idea where it is, because I haven't used mine in weeks. I have been using this American Crafts thing, but it just did something really funny on me, and I don't have the time to fuss with it, so I'm not going to fuss with it right now. I'll fuss with it after the video is over. But that's what I've been using. But it's a giant tape runner. Hello, stick down. It's a giant tape runner. And a well-known complaint about the ATG is that it's not designed for left-handed people, because it has to be wielded in the right hand for it to work. And I don't know if Scotch just decided that everyone on the earth... This is going in my Storyline Chapters book, Joanne. So the Storyline Chapters books are always sold out. I have no idea why. Probably because they're amazing. So they're always sold out. I saw that Joanne had them in stock for like 5 minutes. I posted that they were in stock in my stories. Heidi DM'd me like 15 minutes later and they were sold out again. They sell out stupid fast. I got mine I'm about to say something like really poserish and really like pretentious. I got mine before they were like cool. Like I got mine when Heidi first like demoed them, and I was like, oh, this would be a really fun size, and I bought mine right away. And I bought mine before her design team were even using them because I thought it would just be a fun size. So like even before her design team were using them, I bought mine. So I got mine really early. And then they like took off. So now that they've taken off, scrapbook.com can't keep them in stock. And so they sell out wicked fast. Joanne's just got some. Yeah. So all the tape runners that you guys are mentioning, you guys, are great. I just wasn't trying to use a giant tape runner because of the waste. Because every time you finish one of those tiny little plastic things, it's plastic and it goes in the garbage. So part of what attracted me to the ATG is that you don't have to change the plastic as often. And since you didn't have to change the plastic as often, sorry, just sticking that down. Since you didn't have to change the plastic as often, it wouldn't generate as much waste as like the smaller dot tape runners. Because I'm a hardcore Tombow believer. Like I love the Tombow tape runners. But again, they just generate so much garbage because of the plastic. You guys, I am super happy with this. Look at that. It took us an hour and 26 minutes to get here. But we used so many mediums on this page. There's distress crayon, there's distress paint, there's distress oxide sprays, there's collage medium, there's a baseboard frame. There's so much going on this page, and we ended up with a really complete layout. Like, it is possible. I think I want to put some more paper. I'm going to get some of that yellow paper. So there we go, guys. It is possible to take our mixed media supplies and use them. Elizabeth, you say that like you're surprised that you bought something because of me when I warned you guys that I was the chief scrapbooking enabler. I take full blame for anything you might have purchased because I told you you needed it. Full responsibility. Full responsibility. Because I like to tell people they need stuff. So, full responsibility if you bought something because of me. But I also hope you're using it if you bought it because of me and you're not just hoarding it. Don't hoard stuff, use it up. So yeah, I hope you're using it if you bought it because of me. But I also take full responsibility because I'm constantly telling people they need to buy stuff. Oh, I'm glad you made something. That's wonderful. I have been working on this behemoth for what feels like forever. And it probably was forever. But sometimes it's like that. Like sometimes I have lives where I can make 2 things in the 2 hours that I'm live. And sometimes you have lives where I decide I'm going to be ridiculously ambitious and all I make is 1 thing because I was ridiculously ambitious. All right, I actually like that yellow paper at the bottom so much more. I added a little bit of scrap of that yellow paper, so much more. So we're going to tape this into the book. And like I said, I'm going to go in and add some typed journaling. I'm going to type up, some journaling with my typewriter and stick it. You guys, I don't know where my storyline chapters insert is. All right, so where is the insert? I found it. Never mind. I found it. Oh my God, that is, Natalie, I'm taking that as the highest compliment. I don't know if you meant it at the highest compliment, but I'm taking it as a compliment that I'm also like carefully opening this because there's a page in here that you guys have not seen yet that I made for a design team project. And I'm like, Tashiana, be careful. So you're not spilling all, oh, I have another butterfly. I'm all like, Tashiana, be careful. You can't spill all the beans just yet. So yeah, so see, there we go. We're going to tape this right into the book. And this is also why I wanted to work off the page because my insert is super full. All right, so I take back everything I said about score tape because score tape is going to be the best adhesive for sticking this in. So we will use score tape. So Joanne, I am fairly lucky and fairly blessed in that that I'm on so many design teams. And that allows me a lot of leeway in my crafty budget because a lot of the stuff I get sent to make stuff with. Oh, Alice, you had a question earlier about American Crafts. So my American Crafts commitment right now is 2 projects a month. 1 project for American Crafts, 1 project for We Are Memory Keepers, with the option that if they need something in the middle of the month, they can like ask us to make something additionally. I will say all of my design teams right now, and this is why I'm on so many, all of my design teams right now are super low impact. And they're all like, Tashi, do what you enjoy making, do what feels good. Like, make what you enjoy making, make what feels good. We like what you do. Which is the only way I will like accept a design team position is if they like what I do, because I don't know how to do something that I don't know how to do. Like, we were talking about this earlier where you make what you love, right? Also, this is why I don't use score tape, because this is so annoying. But we were talking about this earlier, which is make what you love, right? And when you make, Crystal and I talk about this all the, oh, good night. Also, everybody say happy anniversary to Crystal. Tonight is her and Aaron's 7th wedding anniversary. So she popped in to hang out with us, and now they're going to go celebrate their special day. Happy anniversary, Crystal. Enjoy. Yeah, so the good thing about being, like I said, with the teams that I'm on is I'm assuming that they want me to be on their team because they already like what I do, right? So, if you already like what I do, then I'm going to keep doing what I do because you already like what I do. I'm not the type of person who chases design teams. Not that there's anything wrong with people who just want to be on teams. Like, I only take design team positions if I think they're a good fit for me. Just because I don't ever want to make something that doesn't feel authentic, right? Like, there's definitely sometimes the design teams, Crystal, I hope you're seeing all these happy anniversaries. There's definitely sometimes that design teams feel like work, because you have deadlines and you have due dates and everybody has their own requirements, and some require blog posts and some require YouTube videos, and you have to have your social media posts and you have to have like perfect photos. There's definitely sometimes the design teams feel like work. But when I commit myself to only design teams that feel good, it works. Then it doesn't feel like work as much. So that is I said all that to say why I have the crafty budget that I do. I don't have to buy as much as like someone else would, because I get stuff sent to me. Now, I don't get everything sent to me. My entire Distress Oxide hoard has been bought with my own money. All of my mixed media products have been bought with my own money. Like, everything that I just used on this, nothing that I used today was something that was sent to me. Everything that I used today was something that was bought with my own money. And that's why I feel, now I will only recommend something to you guys, even if I am on a design team, I will only recommend something to you guys if I like it. So yeah, if you ever get a recommendation from me, you can rest assured that it's something that I like and I believe in. Also, it's probably something that I've used a few times, because I don't ever recommend things unless I've used it a few times and I feel pretty comfy with the medium, which is why I'm like constantly telling people you need Distress Oxides, because I think they're wonderful. Like, they're literally my favorite artistic medium. And I played with so many different inks. I have, like, you guys have seen, I have the entire Ranger line. I played with so many inks, and the Distress Oxides are just my favorite. You guys, that actually came out pretty nice. I'm, like, kind of shocked. I'm kind of shocked at how well this worked out. Wow, look at that. That's pretty good. Yeah, so the Distress Oxides are my favorite medium, and that's why I'm always recommending them to you guys, because they're so much fun and they're a great medium. But I will only recommend something if it's something that I believe in and something that I enjoy. All right, so I am heading into, so question, do I add few enamel dots to this. Should I add enamel dots? I mean, enamel dots are always your friend, right? I really want to put this other butterfly here, but I don't know if it needs it. But I really want to put another butterfly on this side. So I'm going to figure out where I can fit this butterfly in. Here? Here? I like that there. All right. Yes. So, yeah, Emily, I'm very glad you talked me into the torn paper because I do think that this, like a layout this messy, kind of needs some sort of framing. So I'm very glad you talked me into the torn paper. So the torn paper was definitely on the list of things I wanted to do tonight, and then I like psyched myself out and I didn't do it, and I'm glad I talked myself back into it. Because it worked. Now, so enamel dots, yes, no, maybe. Yes to enamel dots. All right, you guys are enamel dot fans. I have this really fun sheet of shapes from Feed Your Craft. Oh, Kate, very good question. So, when I had my silhouette portrait, the answer to that question would have been no. But I had the old portrait, and I was not a fan. The new portrait, so when I had my portrait, I would have said 100% no. I do not recommend that thing because it stressed me out so badly. It was like I don't even have words for how badly my portrait used to stress me out. I used to literally cry. Also, I'm a bit of a crybaby. I don't know if you guys have realized that. So when I say I used to literally cry, like, don't be surprised because everything makes me cry. Also, do you guys hear everything falling? That happens. Yes, so when I say I used to literally cry, like, it's not the end of the world because everything makes me cry. But I used to cry every time I had to use my portrait because it was just the worst tool because I had the old one. I've since upgraded to a Cameo, and that was the best decision I've ever made. My Cameo gets me so much further than my portrait. I don't like that hexagon. I'm taking that off. My Cameo gets me so much further than my portrait does. I have never used any other system besides the Silhouette, so I don't know like how the Brother one and how the I don't know how the Brother one and how the Cricut work because I've never used anything that was not a Silhouette. But I am the Natalie. Natalie, I've had several days where I was fighting with my Silhouette. My Cameo and I will tell you, the only time my Cameo and I have a difference of opinions is when I try to do print and cut. Print and cut is not my friend at all. Oh, Tiffany, thank you. Print and cut is not my friend. It is not my jam. It just does not do the things that I want it to do. So whenever I try to do print and cut, like I see people do like crazy things with print and cut. And whenever I try to do it, my Silhouette laughs at me and it goes, haha, you thought this was a good idea and it's actually not. So unless I'm attempting to do print and cut, my Silhouette and I get along just fine. So since I know that it does not enjoy doing print and cut, I just don't try it. Like I don't like rock the boat. I know it doesn't enjoy doing it, and since it doesn't enjoy doing it, that's okay. Like, I don't force it to do things that it doesn't enjoy doing, and so I just don't, like, print and cut, like, printables and stuff. But my Silhouette gets a ton of use now, so it depends. When I'm doing a lot of 12 by 12 scrapbooking, my Silhouette gets a lot of use. When I'm not doing a ton of 12 by 12 scrapbooking, it doesn't. But now that we're heading into, like, December daily stuff, like, my Silhouette's gonna get, like, so much use, and it's gonna be my best. Wow, Natalie, that sounds awful. My Cameo has not done that to me yet. The most trouble I have with my Cameo is when my mat stops sticking and then I have to struggle. But that's it. All right, so you guys, I'm sorry that we only made one thing this live. Normally we get to make at least two. This time we only made one. But I hope it inspired you. And I hope you learned something. And I hope you picked up a few mixed media techniques while you were here. We're going to pretend the butterfly debacle didn't happen. Because I'm actually glad the butterflies didn't work because then I got to pull out this really fun Bicky Booten collection and get it on my desk. So I'm actually kind of glad that the butterflies didn't work. I guess all things work together in the end. So yeah, here's my life. So don't forget, if you joined us recently, that the link to join my Zoom call is in my bio, in the description box right now. I will go on Instagram after I clean up this mess, and I'll actually share a picture of the mess. You guys might find this very comical. But I'll share a picture of the mess on Instagram. And I will quickly talk about this. But yes, if you're interested, you can sign up for the Zoom call, which is next Friday at 7:30 Eastern Time. Also, if you're interested, you can join my Mighty Network, where I will be sharing stuff. We'll be doing like Q&As. You guys can also pick the things that I do in my YouTube videos through the Mighty Network. So yeah. But that's it. I hope you guys enjoyed this. It was a bit of an adventure to get here. We did a lot of fun things, which I really enjoyed doing. Yeah. So till next time. Oh, also guys, I have a new screen, so we're gonna switch to my end screen. Haha. This is the stream has ended screen. And this is where I say my goodbyes. No, thanks you guys for coming. Because if you guys don't show up, I'd literally be talking to myself for the entire time. So thank you so much for coming. Thank you for joining me. I will post a picture to Instagram in a little bit. I just gotta clean up my desk. And I'll see you guys in a bit. So till next time, keep it crafty and have the very best day. And I will see you around, guys. Have the most wonderful night.